Hi, everyone. This is Joanna Piekarski. I'm a real estate broker in the state of Illinois, and I'm here today with Matt Medinger. Hi, Matt.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good.
I'm a
How are
lender.
you?
Good, good.
Yeah, so we are meeting with you guys every week to kind of bring you up to date with the real estate news. And what we've been like from my side, what we've been seeing this week is definitely more houses on the market and
Mhm.
also more houses sitting on the market. So I think what they are trying to create, which is making a bigger inventory for all of us, it's happening. I mean, part of it is that, we have definitely a little bit less buyers than we had a few months ago.
Mhm.
Second of all, I think we are overpricing the property. So it's extremely important to remember not to overprice because it's going to hurt. The sellers, of course, right? Because once you
Yeah.
guys on the market for like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, then it's a signal for us agents that okay, nobody went after this property at this price, definitely overpriced, so there's something that we
Mhm.
don't see. Let's go take a look at the house and compare it with everything that sold recently, and most likely it's going to be the price, and usually it is. So once the price is adjusted, then we see more activity and more people are trying to get into the property and more offers are coming in, but they're going to be already lower than you started. We rather would like to see you pricing the property properly to the market that we are in right now. And that's like a huge subject. We can talk about it for like an hour and a half, how to
Yeah.
properly price it, right? But the market's going to talk to you. If you overprice it, even 10,000, 20,000, then you will not see any offers. You will see showings for the first couple of weeks, but you definitely won't see any offers. So if there is no offers coming in, no entrance, no agents are reaching out asking about some details about the property, that means there is really no interest, and most likely it's the price. So when I talk to all my sellers, even when we think that we are gonna nail the price, there's always that question mark. So market is gonna talk back to you and it's gonna tell you exactly if you price it right or not. Buyers are more educated. There's a lot of data online right now. So that extra
Mhm.
$10,000 can hurt you. And what I can also share, if there's any future sellers that are listening to us, and are you guys thinking about selling, please reach out. But remember one thing from this meeting, that buyers are shopping by brackets. So if you are going to put the price on your property 355, guess what? You're going to miss everybody that has their bracket at 350. So we usually
Yeah.
go like 300, 325, 350, 375. If we have a buyer, Matt can talk a little bit more about it, that can be stretched a little bit because of the taxes on the property or maybe HOA on the property, then we usually give them an extra room. But sometimes people are very fixated on on their pricing. So even if we think, okay, they're qualified to 350, there may be some houses that can be purchased at 365. Let's put them at 375. The buyer will come back and say, no, it's 350 is the max that I want to be. So if
Yeah.
you are pricing your property at 355, you're missing all those buyers that may be interested in your property. They will come and see it, and then they will talk to Matt, and Matt will explain to them that, hey, there is, a little bit of room. You guys can go a little bit higher,
Mhm.
and they can maybe produce a bit higher offer if they like the property. But if you are going to overprices, you're gonna literally miss everybody that may be truly a potential buyer for your house. So don't do that, because we see this more and more and more. And then just take into
Yeah.
consideration that the market is changing, and we
Mhm.
talk about it too. Like our spring market this year was like January, February, March. We are now in summer market. Summer market is always a little bit slower than spring market in the state of Illinois.
Mhm.
So you have to take everything into consideration. But at the same time, this is a good thing for our buyers. So we can start negotiating, getting those deals. For our buyers, it's sometimes very important to feel like they get the deal. The houses are maybe overpriced, and then we can start talking and then figured out the proper price to put an offer on. And so that is always exciting if we can get a house a little bit cheaper than what the seller was hoping for, if they, of course, overprice the property. So,
Yeah.
so we see more houses are coming on the market, more houses are sitting on the market, big opportunity. So don't hesitate. Mike's going to talk about interest rate right now, but just listen, listen to this. Like, what if this is like really good time right now? What if the interest rate are not going to go down next year on in 2 years,
Yeah.
and you're really hesitant about moving, and the properties are going to be more expensive in a couple of years? Then what? You know, I mean, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen. But at the same time, like, is it really worth waiting? And I bet you can sit down with Matt and he can kind of show you, right? Like,
Definitely.
how much you will be paying now, how
Yeah.
much if the same scenario is going to keep for the, couple of years down the road, what's going to change, how much it's going to be then.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to reiterate, I was just at an open house. I felt, obviously it's just my opinion that I kept to myself, but I felt the home was overpriced. About 50 people came through, no one made an offer, and it's because the buyers were pushing the agent to go above when they don't realize that if you price competitively, people will bid above to compete against each other and push the price up above what you would normally get. So listen to your realtors.
Yeah.
They know best and they see it every day. And so they're not telling to sell low just, or list lower just, because they have a strategy and it works. And I see it all the time where houses don't sell because they just went too high, and it doesn't have to be a lot. They're just out of the range and no one really wants to even, make an offer. So, and yeah, so last week we saw the Fed met and they did not mention rates really, and no raises, no cuts, because cuts should be on the docket. But some people outside the Fed have talked about raising who were associated with it before. But I think we're still looking at probably November, December to see our first cut. No one really knows, but unemployment numbers, continuing unemployment was up, which is not a good thing for the economy, but it's a good thing for mortgage rates. And so that was kind of tempered by some other, fiscal news with the government, but it's just showing that we're going in the right direction. And so, no one knows where rates will be next year, but if I had to bet on it, obviously I would bet that we're going to be lower than we are now. We're in the upper sixes, low sevens area, depending on credit score for conventional stuff.
That's
And
great.
so,
It's a
yeah,
good
yeah. And so
number.
comparatively to last year, I mean, we were seeing at some points eight,
Yeah.
over 8% depending on credit, which so we're down a point to a point and a half, which is awesome. So it's not optimal, and I understand that. Obviously, people would like to see lower, but we're probably not going to see that until late this year or sometime into next year. Maybe we'll get down to the mid sixes, something like that. But we're at least getting back into reasonable territory. So I feel like things are getting more affordable. And like as Joanna said, I can definitely break it down for you and let you know it's much cheaper to buy the home now than to wait. Even if rates do go down, the prices that you'll pay compared to how much more the interest rate will be is minimal. If the house goes up 10, 20,000, you're paying much, much more in purchase price. And so it's a better deal to get the home earlier before the prices continue to rise.
Yeah, and the same guys with rents, because we have people that are wishing that they could buy, but unfortunately they have to maybe wait a little bit
Mm-hmm.
for any type of circumstances. So we're looking at the rents right now too, and some places, the rents are just waiting there for you. Come apply, it's great.
Yeah.
But there's some suburbs, McHenry County, some parts of DuPage County, where you are when they're really struggling with finding the rent. And then
Mm-hmm.
once you find something, $1,900, $2,000, and it's not gonna get you something super exciting. And it's
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
unfortunate, and I wish this was a different story, but some of the landlords or investors, they really don't care about their properties. I see that a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Like, once somebody move out, you're supposed to be refreshed. Like, if you're dealing with the apartment building, of course that's the part of their policy, they have to do it, and we should be
Mm-hmm.
looking at this the same way. But I see a lot lately, because there have so many applications for one property, they kind of neglecting, like maybe repainting the unit, maybe, you know, putting a new carpet, cleaning it very well. So just because your
Yeah.
previous tenant cleaned the property doesn't mean it's clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
you know, different people have different standards, but you know, for that $2,000, you don't necessarily gonna get something super exciting.
Yeah.
So and then I mean, I could tell you stories from years of my of working as a realtor. I remember one couple when they moved in into the property they were renting, and then they invited me for like a housewarming party. They're my clients now for
Mhm.
many years. They own many houses now. But the first deal we ever had was renting a property. You know, they invited me for the housewarming. I walk in and I cannot recognize the property. They've done so many updates. I'm like, what the heck did you do? Oh
That's
my
great.
God, it
Yeah.
was hilarious. It was hilarious. They ripped the carpets, they put the flooring. I'm like, ooh, this landlord's gonna love you. But did you get
Yeah.
the permission to do that? You know, so oh,
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
hide it
Definitely.
because the carpet was old. I'm like, it doesn't matter. So it's not your home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you cannot do I mean, anything without lender's permission. You know, painting, they
Yeah.
barely let you
Yeah.
paint. Um,
Hmm.
and far from changing the you know the flooring or adding something to the walls. It was hilarious. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
But then when they move out, he was actually extremely happy that they did that, right? I mean, who wouldn't?
It's nice. Yeah. I wish my tenants would do
Right.
that.
No, $10,000 of flooring. It's okay. You know, it's like
Yeah.
fine. We just needed it. I mean, those were the people that could afford that and they just wanted
Mhm.
it, but you cannot do anything without the landlord permission.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Permission.
we see
Yeah.
that a lot, you know, that unfortunately it's just a money making unit for them and you know, as cheap as possible. So a bare minimum to put into the unit to get a maximum return. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, if you're not going through like apartment building, which is like extremely expensive at this time, and you
Hmm.
wanted something cheaper, you gotta go through the private owner. And unfortunately, I would say 80% of those investors are not really taking care of the properties the way they should. And
Yeah.
it's sad
Yeah.
because those people are, you know, paying you a lot of money. Take care of your property. Make sure that you make it nice for the next tenant. You know, you're asking them to pay
Yeah.
so much. That's at least you
Yeah,
can
and you're investing in your own investment. So it
absolutely.
needs to be maintained, and the
Yeah.
maintenance in the long run will save you and make the property more attractive. So I mean, I really don't understand that, point of view where it's as cheap as
Yeah.
possible, with little repairs. It's make it nice, make it livable, and make it, a place someone would want to live.
Right. Not everybody, guys, but a majority.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, investors are like that. I get it if you are out of town and maybe, you know, you are hoping that the person that maintains your unit is like doing it the right way. But
Mhm.
once in a while you gotta visit. You gotta
Definitely.
make sure that they're
Definitely
doing
have
the
to
right
take a look.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we have for you today.
Mhm.
We can't wait to see you next week, and we wish you all the best with your property search. And if you have any questions or are if you are thinking about buying a property in the future, please give us a call.
Definitely. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye bye.